Greetings, everybody. My name is Robert Sean Kennedy. I'm going to be your history instructor for the fall 2015 semester. So welcome aboard. I'm very excited to introduce you to U.S. History 1301. Generally speaking, I just want to make sure everybody understands that this is a college level course. The rigor reflects that. But I don't want that to discourage anybody. As long as you follow the schedule and follow the guidelines, you'll be fine. So, but following the schedule will be imperative to your success. So let this orientation be a medium that will allow you to understand the schedule, the expectations, and the purpose of the content. So with that said, let's begin. The first thing I want to do here is look at the syllabus. Okay, so the course takes place from August 24th. Hopefully you're viewing this today on August 24th to December 13th. So just keep that in mind. It's December 13th will come. So you want to make sure you come into this course ready to hit the ground running and are not caught in the trap that a lot of students, and especially online students, seem to get into of putting things off until the next day or the next week. If you avoid that kind of trap, you'll be fine in this course. I can assure you of that. My contact information is robertkennedyhistoryteacher@gmail.com. I'm going to try something new this semester that I've seen other colleagues do, and that's going to be have you email me content and expectation questions in specific chat rooms at the end of each week, if you happen to have questions. And I'll show you where that is later on in the orientation. And the reason for that is that more often than not, in fact always, when students are asking questions about the content, if they or need just clarification, this is my understanding of what is being said within this particular chapter, that kind of a thing. Or have a question about the expectation, how many questions are going to be on the exam, or how long should a response be, whatever the case may be. Other students absolutely benefit from knowing about those questions and also seeing the response to them. So I'm going to have you, for those questions, please post them in the discussion board. If you need to email me for personal questions or just need to relay personal information to me, please email me at this email address here. Or if you have specific questions regarding your grade, email me here. But other than that, direct your questions towards the end of each week. And again, I'll show you where that is later. My office hours are very flexible. I just have here on 10 to noon because I know I'll be in my office usually at those times. But I'm available via email consistently. So the reason why I use a Gmail account is Gmail makes it very convenient, has an app, and I get your email right away. Where if I'm away from my office and you're emailing me at the institutional email at South Texas College, I might not get your email for a while if I'm not checking that email at my desktop. So if you're ever in need of me, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me. If I don't get back to you, either in the discussion posts where the questions need to get posted for content or expectations, or Gmail within 24 hours, don't hesitate to repost or resend. I won't find it pushy or rude. It could be a matter of I just got too busy, or I saw too many. There were too many posts coming in, and yours got lost in the shuffle, or for some reason it didn't go through on my end. So the last thing I want to do is to ignore you. So please don't hesitate to email me back. Let's see. One thing you should note is there is no required textbook to purchase, so if you have purchased a textbook, please return it. I don't know why the bookstore puts orders in for me, because I never make an order with the bookstore. All of the required content will be made available through Blackboard, and most of it is actually linked within the syllabus. So no required textbook to purchase. There is required content to read and view, but none to purchase. Go through this. This is helpful. At the beginning of every semester, I do this, clearing the cache. I don't know exactly what that is. I'm not technically savvy or anything like that, but the folks down the hall, distance education, tell me that this works. So go through this, and I highly recommend everybody do this. Clear your cache. Here are tutorials on how to do it for your preferred browser. Just as a note, I recommend not using Internet Explorer. It's not very secure, and it's going away, I guess, within the year. So you want to get familiar with other browsers if you're relying more on Internet Explorer. You might find some of this information helpful, so please take that, look at that link. Here you'll want to download the software right away if you have not done so for other courses in order to submit any lecture assignments, the orientation exam. You need to open it up in Lockdown browser. So please make sure you download the software promptly, like today. If you're not familiar with it, please click here to get familiar with what Lockdown browser is. It's about a 1-minute video that'll help you understand exactly what Lockdown browser is. Okay, I have this all in all caps, not that I'm yelling at you. In fact, I'll take it out of all caps. It's not necessary to have things in all caps. But I do want to make sure that you understand that if you're not consistently logging in, you run the danger of being dropped from the course. It's really important that you stay engaged, and I don't want any student to be in the course if they're not fully engaged from August 24th to December 13th. So make sure you're logging in consistently and doing work. You have to, because every week you have at least 3 to 5 assignments due, whether they are in the expression of a quiz, a discussion, or a lecture assignment. So keep that in mind. Okay, this is very important to keep all of this stuff in mind, especially how course the assignments are calibrated. This will help you with tremendous amount of stress throughout the course if you keep this in mind. Sometimes a student will miss a quiz or not do as well, or miss a lecture assignment or not do as well as she or he expected to do, and it's just 1 or 2, maybe 3 throughout the semester, and the student is understandably very anxious about it. But just keep in mind, collectively, and there are quizzes every week, and there's a quiz every unit, collectively, those constitute 10% of your total grade, right? So one missed, or one that you don't do as well at, isn't going to make or break you. Collectively, if you're consistently missing quizzes or not doing well on quizzes, yes, that's going to be a problem, or the unit quizzes. And there is a way of making up the percentages on these things, and keep in mind everything is done in percentages here. I'll talk about that in just a second a little bit more, but if you keep in mind how it's calibrated, it will mitigate a lot of your stress, right? Weekly discussions, same thing. There's a discussion every week. If you miss one or don't do as well on one, you're not going to be made or break. If you're consistently missing them, something to worry about. 10% of your grade is a whole letter grade, so that's significant. But 1, 2, 3, even 4 throughout the entire semester is not going to make or break you. Lecture assignments, 20%. Unit essay exams, even this, right? So there is 4 units. Each one is 10%. So let's really look at the math, examine the math here. Let's say the first unit exam you prepare for, you write it out. It's a 5 to 8 paragraph essay, and you just didn't understand the expectations. and you're new at this, you've never written a 5 to 8 paragraph essay, or you've written very few of them, and you don't do as well as you intended to do, and you end up earning a 50% on it, right? Doing the math, how much of your grade, your total grade, have you lost? Right, that's right in the back, you got it correct, right? You've only lost 5% of your total grade, right? Which is significant, but not, it's not going to make or break you. So keep that in mind about how things are calibrated in this course. Final exam, significant, 20% is significant, but again, it's not going to make or break you. If you don't do as well as you fully intended to do. If you don't do it, yeah, that's a problem. That's a 20% of your grade gone, right? That would mean that if you aced everything, the highest grade you possibly could get would be a B, and that would be if you aced everything, no points ever taken off, right? Which isn't very likely, just because that's usually not how it works. So don't miss it, but make an attempt at it. But I'll explain a little bit more about the final exam in just a little bit. Okay, moving right along here, familiarize yourself with plagiarism. Here's some information about plagiarism. It's a serious issue. If you engage in plagiarism, you will earn a failing grade for the semester. So just don't do it. Any technical issues, right? So if I'm telling you click this and something doesn't open up, if the exam looks funny to you or doesn't look as the way it's supposed to, you think look, or whatever the case may be, you can try to contact me, and maybe I know the solution, but more often than not, I don't know for certain. These people at Distance Education do. If you're on campus, visit them. They're right down from my office here on Pecan at A140. Incredibly helpful. Call them, 872-2598. Email them, or this is quite handy. You could work using live support. This is hyperlinked. It'll take you to where the chat room is available for support. Any technical problems, email them. They will help you, or chat with them, or call them, or go and visit them if you're on campus. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. You have lecture assignments, basically. Please go through this, and I'm going to explain the gist of these in Blackboard so you can actually see it. Quizzes weekly, but I just want to make sure you understand where this information is. That gives you all of the details, including how many questions will be on each unit quiz and each weekly quiz. So please take note of that. These questions will be on the orientation exam. For the unit essay exam, I'll have a separate video for this, but suffice for now, click here. So you have the information, open it up, read through it. If you have any questions, you could post your questions in the weekly questions for week 1. That would be a good place to post this if you have any specific questions after watching the orientation video for this. Let's see, anything else? The discussion posts, I will go through this separately in a different video. The one thing I want to say about the final exam here, take note of this. If you have earned a 90% or higher before December 8th at the end of the semester, you will not need to take the final exam, right? Keep that in mind. And for those that do take the final exam, if your percentage is higher than any or all previous quizzes, weekly and units, your final exam percentage will replace those lower percentages, because they're basically coming from the same test bank. Basically, the final exam will be questions that you've already seen or responded to, gotten correct or incorrect, that you can make corrections to on your own as you go through the semester. So if you have to take the final exam, do it, right? It's designed just to be kind of a wrap-up assignment, just one last look at some of the content and the issues of the course. And there are very serious issues with the course, dealing with concepts of freedom, democracy, human bondage, economy, slavery, right? So please, please, please keep that in mind about the final exam. Right here is the schedule. All of it will be hyperlinked as far as the content is concerned, and the dates will be there to reflect as accurate as possible. It's all tentative, this could change, but more or less it usually stays the same. Let's see, down here, if you happen to be a veteran, please take note of this. And do use this resource. Excuse me, dang it. I was going to try to push pause before I sneezed, but couldn't do it. Anyway, please read through the rest of it. I don't want to take up too much of your time in the syllabus portion of it. There are a few more videos to watch, so please do. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.